Good evening. This evening I'm going to quickly cover the installation of LazReport on Lazarus. I've already got a project that I've managed to get from someone, and I'm using their snippet of code to add a report to it. And the report that I like using is LazReport. But when we have a look on the common tabs over here, we're not able to see LazReport, and the reason being is that it's an additional package that you need to install. So this video is going to show you how to install it, and if I'm successful, I'm going to try and obviously add the LazReport to it, but if not, I will take it from, I'll create the LazReport in another video. But for the time being, you need to click on package. So you open up your Lazarus, you click on package, you say install or uninstall packages, and on the right hand side it shows you what's available for installation, and on the left it shows you what is installed. If you have a look under here, you can see there's no LazReports. So if I scroll down on the right, you'll see there that it comes up LazReport 0.9.9. So I select it, I say install selection, and you'll see it moves it onto the left over here. So if I scroll down, there it's got it with a green plus. Okay, so what I'm basically going to do is now I'm going to say save and rebuild IDE. The reason we have to rebuild it is because you'll see these tabs will now change and there will be an option of LazReport on it. So that's why you have to click on this save and rebuild IDE. So I'm going to go there, and as you can see here it's telling me it wants to add a new package. Am I happy? Yes, I want to continue. And now what normally happens is a little screen shows that it's compiling and it's busy doing its thing. I can't see my normal log screen. But basically on the top over here you can see it's also showing that it's compiling. But if you've got the normal view log thing at the bottom here, when you have errors, it should actually be showing up there that it's busy compiling as well. And you'll notice that once it's finished compiling and running its thing, it exits out of Lazarus. So don't be scared, it does close Lazarus down automatically. But there we go, it opens it up just as quickly. And as you can see here, what happens is you've got Laz controls and you've got LazReports. But this is the main one, the LazReport part. Okay, so I'm going to take this example from the textbook, which is chapter 16.2. And in here you can see I've got my form, and on it I've got a reports option that I've created on the menu. Okay, so from this reports option I've decided I want to actually call another form, and that form I've renamed reports, and I've already added it. I've gone here and I've said I want a new form, and I've told it must save the form as reports _u. So when I go back to my projects over here and I click on forms, you'll see that there's my report. It's available here. I just double click on it, and as you can see I've just added a simple button that says print report. Now the key thing with LazReports is that you need to know what the table name is, so that it brings up the records linked to that table name. So I'm just going to open up my SQLite manager quickly, and once I'm inside there I will show you what my table name is, so you can see what I'm doing on the LazReport part of it. Just getting there. Okay, and I want that open. Okay, so here's my little database named SQLite 1DB, and I've got 3 tables. I'm going to actually just make use of this library book option. as you can see there, it's got four columns, and they're all of type varchar. Okay, so if I go and I have a look at data, and I click on there, it tells me all the data that's currently in there. So my first column ID that I want to make use of is this book ISBN. Okay, so if I go back here, I go to book ISBN, I want to take a copy of the name book ISBN and use that in my LazReport. Okay, so I'm going to minimize that. So on the LazReport, what you need is a data set, okay, which, if I'm not mistaken, it's this option. So you add that as your data set, and then on top of that you need this report actual class as such. And the data set is what will be passed, the information that will be passed to the to the report, where the report will temporarily cache the information that's going to be displayed on the report. And then this report here is basically like a shortcut to a report editor. So if you double click on it, you'll see it should kindly present you with a screen like this. And basically from here, you go and you add your different fields that you want to show on your report. And on the left here, it's got a whole lot of nice icons. And from what I can remember is I inserted a header and a footer and everything else. And that's what's nice with using this LazReport, is it's quite easy to get around once you have a look at a couple of these icons. So what you need to do though, once you've done this, you've got to go to File, Save As, and you must save your report name under your same name as your project. So I've got this, and then I go to UNISA and I go to INF26, and my project is currently stored over here, and I'm just going to call this book report. Okay, book report, like that, and click on save. Now this report is saved under that file name. So whatever changes I make here, I need to remember that. And if you click on close here and you go double click, okay, now it's showing that, but sometimes you'll double click and it'll still be a blank report. Don't despair. You just click on file, you go to open, you find where you've got your report stored, and you open it, and it'll give you the stuff that you've saved your details or different information on. This is a simple text editor, and what's nice here is you can type out your own stuff. Basically, I'm just going to call this book report. What's nice here is you can change the format of it. You can tell it that you want a larger font, you want everything to be much bigger. Here I just manipulate it from here. So I want a 22 font for this object. And there you see, and you can go to bold, and you can go to italic, and you can underline it. It almost feels like you're playing with Microsoft Word. Okay. Then I just want to add this thing. This is where when you insert a band, it wants to know what band you want. So I'm going to leave that as page header, okay, and then that's what I want on my header, and I actually want this book report to be on my header. So I place it over there. I can stretch my header. I can choose where I want to place my header. Okay, and then I'm going to leave my book report here. I'm going to add another band, and I want a detailed master data. I'm going to try the master data option. Okay, it wants to know a data source. As you can see here, if I click the drop down, it gives me a list of them. I'm going to choose that data set that I had added. Remember, I added one on the form over here. over there, that data set, I wanted to use that. So that's what what I would prefer to use. So I'm going to actually just delete that again and go and add the band. And I want my master data, and it's asking me where I want it from that data set. Okay, and then from here you can go and you can add another field here. And what's nice is, remember I was showing you these table names, like this book ISBN. So I want the book ISBN to appear here. So I'm going to just put it like that. And as you can see, I've opened some brackets, which are the square brackets, and I've put in the column name, and I've closed that bracket, and I click on OK. You can see it's not showing anything. That's because it's too small. I've obviously, what it does is it saves the font options that you made previously. I want to have it small. I don't want it underlined or bold or anything. I just want it to represent the book ISBN numbers, and I want it to show up on the report. And if I go and I have a look at this thing and I say, okay, I also want book category to show up, then I can just make a copy of the name of book category, and I'm going to add that as an option here. I want it over here. Okay, I'm going to open my square brackets, put in the name of my column from my database, click OK, and there we go. Now this is a very simple report. I'm not going to do anything too fancy. It's more just to show you what is available. I click on save, and that information is there. Now I'd go file and exit. And then what would happen is I would then tell this print button, I would send it all the code in order to activate the data set, to pass the information to the data set, as well as the report, for the report to please call up that file that I've saved. So that's what I'm going to try and show you, and I hope that it's going to work. I haven't touched this in a long time, but as you can see, I've taken it from the library book table, and if I go back here to my projects and I look under my data module, you'll see I've got a data module here, and my data module is showing me that, guess what, here's all the information you need for the books. If you're interested in getting books to show up on this report. Now, because we're using the data module, you have to remember that we need to actually go to our form and add a uses clause in here and say, hey, guess what, guys, I need you to use this DMO library, library U, which is the unit file, and make sure you have those changes saved. Then what you can do is on this button you can then call it and say that you want to have a look, you want it to actually you want it to call up the report. So just bear with me while I'm having a look at something that I've done on another screen. Yeah, okay, so button report, I'm basically going to say when this form loads, I want it to then call call my DMO, and that's DMO library. CDS. I want to call the book, because this is the library book. Library book. So I'm going to call CDS book. Okay. CDS. Why is it stopped now? CDS book, and I'm going to make sure it closes it before it opens it. And yeah, and library. Okay, and then I'm going to say open. Okay, so that will open it. Okay, and this is actually on the form create, which I don't really want. I want it to be on the form show. So I scroll down here and I say on show, and I make sure I copy this nice code into my on show. I don't want to use the create. Okay, there we go. That will do that. And okay. Sorry, just bear with me while I have a look. Okay, didn't even need that, but anyway. So what I'll do from here is when the person clicks on this button report, I want it to then call that report. So I say this FR report 1, and I say dot, and you'll see it comes up with some comments, and I say load from file, because that's where I'm getting it from. Load from file, and then it wants the name of the report. And if I can remember correctly, let me just go back there, because I can't actually remember correctly, but it was called book report .lrf. Okay, so I can copy and paste that in there, and that should mean it should work. If I add the show report, okay, so I'm going to choose this. Report. Okay, as I say, I haven't done this in a long time. I am going to take a chance. Yeah, I need to actually click on this reports and add an option that will load that report form, which is going to need to use this. And then just say reports lister, yeah, FRM report. Is that the name of my report? I think it should be FRM my report. That's the one. So show. That should allow me to view that form and allow me to execute the report. Let's see if I'm successful or not. Okay, reports, list of items. Okay, it doesn't like my equals statement. Okay, cancel. Okay, so doesn't like my report. Don't want that one. DMO library CDS. Okay, create. Okay, I might need to manipulate some of my information here so that I can just see to get it working perfectly. But yeah, it should be library book. That book. Maybe actually just add it there. I'm just going to try one more time. definitely doesn't like it. Break. I'm going to stop that. Okay, I'm going to stop the video here, and then I'll show you how I got it fixed up in the next series. It might be something within my own select statement, or something to do with the query that I've passed through. But that is basically what is required to show the report. But I want to show a working example. So thank you for watching this video, and I look forward to giving you a full solution in the next one. Thank you. Goodbye.